Meet Sarah, a 60-year-old marketing executive, which has worked her whole life to build up a savings and has accumulated over $2.5 million. But unlike Michael, although Sarah has to deal with similar feelings as far as having anxiety about financial freedom, increased healthcare expenses, and market volatility, decided to make the leap to retirement. During those first 6 months of retirement, Sarah repeatedly questioned herself. Anytime a hiccup or a correction occurred in the markets, Sarah questioned whether or not she had made the right choice. What made a major impact in the decision that Sarah made was the approach that she used. Rather than making a clean break from the workplace and retiring altogether at once, she was able to negotiate what we would know as a phased retirement with her employer, downshifting from 5 to 3 days per week. That gradual step down allowed Sarah psychological breathing room. So while she was able to maintain her connections professionally and personally through the workplace, she was also able to develop new hobbies and interests outside of work. The arrangement gave her ample time to understand that the transition needed to be made from glorifying her personal achievements in work to understanding what was actually important in her life outside of the workplace. In addition to that, Sarah and her team of professionals, which included her financial advisor, her attorney, and her accountant, put together a plan which was equally as methodical. Step 1 was creating what we would call the bucket approach and developing 3 separate buckets. This step is not necessary for all pre-retirees, but we have seen some great successes over time. The first bucket contained cash reserves, and short-term fixed income instruments, which allowed Sarah to have spending and wiggle room for the first 3 to 5 years out of retirement. This allowed her to put market volatility out of her mind. The second bucket was based more on intermediate-term goals, things like travel, hobbies, and gifting money to her grandchildren. The third bucket was geared more towards the long term and emergencies. This money was placed in a growth-oriented portfolio, which allowed Sarah to endure a little volatility, understanding that she had a longer time horizon, in addition to combating inflation. What actually surprised Sarah the most about making the change to retirement had nothing to do about the financial situation, but more to do with the change in her physical situation. Within 18 months of leaving her high-pressure job, Sarah felt remarkably better overall. Her sleep quality improved, her cortisol levels decreased, and her overall sense of well-being felt wonderful. These changes represented measurable health benefits that no amount of wealth could ever help you achieve.